Hey tribe, happy Sunday. So I asked you guys yesterday if you'd be interested in me taking my EMF meter and going around my house and measuring. And you guys said yes. So I'm going to take you guys around my house today. We're going to do the computer. I don't know. We'll do the outlets, the TV. We'll see. But I wanted to start by, just in case you guys are like, what the hell is this EMF thing? I just wanted to explain to you what it is first. So EMF is an acronym and it stands for electromagnetic fields. Sometimes it's also electromagnetic frequencies. And these electromagnetic fields are comprised of electric and a magnetic field that are perpendical to each other and travel together in an invisible wave form. That sounds like really physics-y, science-y, so don't worry if that doesn't make perfect sense. If you guys want, you can actually Google what an electromagnetic field looks like, and you can see the graphs and everything. Again, not super pertinent, but that is what EMF stands for. And there are natural EMFs, like the sun emits, and then there are man-made EMFs. And examples of man-made EMFs are radio waves, microwaves, Wi-Fi signals, UV light bulbs. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my phone set up here. Visible lights like, UV lights, even things like MRIs, infrared radiation. So lots of different types of EMFs, but they typically fall within two main categories. So there are low frequency EMFs and there are high frequency EMFs. Lower frequency EMF radiation have lower frequencies than visible light, and they are non-ionizing radiation. So just some examples of low frequency EMFs, that's going to be like your microwave, toaster oven, your computer, your visible light that you see, like I have a light in front of me right now and a light above me, that's going to be low frequency. Wi-Fi, cell phones, Bluetooth, power lines, and MRIs, whereas high frequency EMFs are going to be things that are higher frequency than visible light and are ionizing radiation, and these are going to be things like UV light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, and gamma rays. So then the question really comes forth, which is, are EMFs safe? So this is a controversial issue because there are pro-tech people who believe that these man-made EMFs are completely safe. And then there are studies that are starting to emerge on the other side that are demonstrating that EMFs, including the non-ionizing ones, may actually be unsafe. So you've been to the doctor's office and had to wear like that kind of like protective shield, right? Or you put the X-ray thing over you, right? But then the person leaves and removes themselves from the room and then runs the X-ray because we know that that can be damaging. So what we're seeing now is that's the high frequency. The low frequency, things like every day the lights are on and the microwave's on and your Wi-Fi's on in your house and you're using your cell phone, that these may actually be unsafe as well. So again, I'm not going to present all the literature and the research here today, but I just wanted to give you guys an understanding that this is kind of controversial topic, and there's a difference between the low frequency non-ionizing and then the high frequency ionizing radiation. So some factors to consider as far as your EMF exposure is the frequency of your exposure. So say you are walking around with I don't have my cell phone because I'm talking on it right now, but if you had your cell phone in your pocket all day long on your body, that's going to be a greater frequency of exposure than say if you left your phone in your car when you were at your office or something, okay? Also the power density, this is the average energy of those EMFs that are given in an area or volume. So how dense is that power? How strong is that power? And then, the next part is strength. So density and strength of the EMFs. These are just things to consider as far as measuring and thinking about how much exposure you have. And then not only frequency, so like am I every day have my cell phone in my little holster in my pocket, but also the duration. So is that for 5 hours a day? Is it for 10 hours a day? Or is it for 0 hours a day? So just some things to consider is like how often, how strong, how dense are these actual EMFs that we are exposed to. There is research coming. My dog's like itching right next to me. Bella, it's okay. There are research studies starting to come out, and again, I'm not presenting all that today, but there is one that I picked up in a little bit of my pre-planning for this video, which is the International Agency for Research on Cancer has already categorized low-frequency EMF, again, it's going to be your microwave and your light and your Wi-Fi, etc., has categorized those low-frequency EMFs a class 2B possible carcinogen. So there is a source I can link to on that. And again, this is becoming a topic of discussion. I think it's something we're going to see more. Some people argue that as humans, we evolve to the technology, and our bodies, or our human body field evolves to the different EMFs that we're exposed to. And other ones show that it can present symptoms. And these are mostly in the presence of chronic high levels of low frequency EMF. And that can result in things like insomnia and anxiety and depression and brain fog and dizziness and vertigo, getting sick really frequently, adrenal fatigue or HPA axis dysfunction, hormone imbalances, cancer or increased risk of cancer, as I just mentioned. And then some people, and as far as I understand this, some people's based on your genetic makeup and the way your genes may be expressed and potential mutations you may have in your genes, some people are really sensitive to EMF, and other people are not as sensitive to EMF. So I like to think of it as like, I'm a sensitive person, okay? And I'm pretty sensitive to a lot of things. I am kind of trying to experiment and see if I'm sensitive to EMFs. But I see it as a blessing in disguise in that if you are sensitive to EMFs, you notice the exposure and you are more likely to take action to reduce your exposure. Whereas if you're someone who does not have a sensitivity, then you may not notice the effects of it, but it could still be damaging your body just as much. And again, the research is still coming out. So if you are sensitive to EMFs, you might have heightened symptoms like nervous system symptoms. Those are things like stress, the inability to deal with stress, fatigue, bad sleep, especially if you're sleeping next to your Wi-Fi router, don't do that. Skin symptoms, so they say you can actually have like a little prickling in your skin or burning sensations or rashes in your body. You can have pains or aches in your muscles. In your eye, you can get a burning sensation. Overall, you can have a brain fog, foggy thinking, even depression. And some people on a lesser scale, but like more weird scale, less common symptoms, people will experience in their ear, nose, throat, digestive system. And now we're also seeing that it's even being linked to infertility. And then huge one that I listened to a podcast about is, what is the name of it? Glioblastoma, brain tumors. Is that the right? Yeah, glioblastoma, brain tumors, and leukemia in children, and breast cancer in women. So just presenting some things to consider here, okay? I don't know what's right or wrong totally yet. I haven't done all the research, but what I want to do with you guys today is show you around my house and just give you an idea of how to use this meter and where some EMFs may be and then what the levels are. So I posted yesterday, I think on Natalie's comment, This is really going to challenge my dexterity here, because I'm going to hold this in one hand, and then I'm going to hold my phone in the other hand. I'm going to flip it so that you guys can see this and take you around my house, and we'll see how that works. But I just want to show you the this tri-field meter, and I can put a link to this. I purchased this on Amazon, and first you do the battery test, and it just means that if this is the battery little thing here, if it were on this side, it would mean the battery is not working. And then you have magnetic, Oh, I can kind of do my phone. All right, so I didn't think you guys were going to be able to see my phone. So magnetic 0 to 100 range, okay? And then you can see the magnetic 0 to 3 range. So we're going to look on the top line when it's here. So I think that's reversed for you guys, but it's at like a 3. And then when it's on this 0 to 3 part, you're going to look in the middle part, so it's about 1.5 to 2, okay? And then electric, when it's on the electric one, we're going to look back up to the top line, and you can see it's like through the freaking roof because it's right in front of my phone. And then radio and microwave is this last setting, and that's going to be the bottom arch here. So I'll talk you guys through that and just kind of show you as we go, but I just want to just kind of give you the basic, like, what does this thing look like, the different settings that it has. This looks like it's from the 80s, I acknowledge that. Oh, I didn't even notice there's some writing on the back. Battery replacement. We're all good with the battery. Okay, so let's move this light and flip camera. You guys can see me in the reflection. Okay, so here is my computer, and let's go on to Facebook so you can't see all of my things. And we are going to hold the meter. So you can see it's at 0 because it's not on yet. We'll see how many EMFs Facebook emits. Okay, so now it's on magnetic 0 to 100, and you can see that we're looking at the top line there, which is hovering around 10, okay? And actually I should probably hold this a little more flat, so there we go. Hovering around 10, and I'm shaking a little bit, sorry. But we can see that that is pretty high. And then we can also try some of these other, let's see here. So we're gonna use the magnetic, sorry guys. We're gonna try the magnetic for the computer. Again, hovering around that 10. And then I have my light right here. This is the light that I use for my live streams. And I'm gonna turn it on the electric setting. And you can see we're looking at the top line. It is super freaking high. So that's a signal to me that maybe I shouldn't live stream for like 5 hours, right? Reduce the exposure. Okay, let's go over to this outlet over here. And so this is my printer, and it's plugged in, but it's not on. So this will be a good test. So again, when we hold this in front, and all you have to do is just use the top of this to whatever surface you're trying to test. So it's at 0 because it's not on. I'm gonna turn it on to electric, okay? And hold it up to the outlet, and you'll see this one's hovering about at a 10 as well. So now I thought it would be fun to turn on my printer. Let that baby turn on, and it's a wireless printer, so it's gonna hook up to the Wi-Fi here. Sorry, it's gonna be a little noisy. And we can hold it back up again, and you can see now it was at, what was it at, 10? Now it's at about 50 because there's power coming through this. There's, you know, some residual even when it's not on, but now it's on and it's up closer to 50. And now it looks like the Wi-Fi has turned on as well. So let's see what the EMF, the magnetic, is. Not too high. Okay, let's try it on this actual printer. Again, not too high. And let's try it on the electric setting. About 15, like at the actual printer. But then you go to the outlet, and it's closer to 30. Okay? So I'm gonna turn this off because it's really loud. All right, so now we did the printer, and we did the outlet, and we did the light, and we did the computer. I'm gonna take you guys into the other room here and do the TV. So let me flip you around. Is this interesting so far? I hope so. Sammy said, wow. Okay. So here is our TV. That's me, I'm in my pajamas still, wearing my unicorns. So the TV is off right now. And I'm gonna put this right here next to the TV, and you can see that it's at 0, okay, and the electric setting. Now, the reason I just turned it to the magnetic setting, and you can see that this is actually a little deceiving because it's around 4 or 5, but that's because our Wi-Fi router is right behind the TV. So I think it's actually measuring the Wi-Fi router, not the TV. But you can see, let's put it up against the router. Yeah. So we've got our Wi-Fi signal going for funsies. Let's see what the electric, yeah. So this doesn't emit a lot of electric waves, but it does a lot of the magnetic waves up there at the 5, okay? So now we'll come back to the TV and turn it on the electric, 0. Now I'm gonna turn the TV on. We need to dust our counter and see what happens when we turn the TV on. No change in the electric. Is that right? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so you can see that the magnetic had a huge change though. Let's do that again. So I'm gonna turn it off. And you can see, okay, we're at 5, just like we were before, but I think it's measuring the Wi-Fi behind here. Now I'm gonna turn the TV on. Maybe, I didn't actually click it. TV is turning on, boom, boom. We're up to 15. Now we're up to 30, now we're up to 70, and it increased as I connected, I think, to Wi-Fi because we have an Apple TV and it's connected to Wi-Fi. Now you'll see we have an Xbox here, that's my boyfriend's Xbox, but we unplug it because Xbox, of all the gaming systems, gives off the largest amount of EMF, and so now there's a house rule that we unplug the Xbox when it's not being used, because even when it's still plugged in, it still gives off EMF. So it's there, you guys just saw it, but it's not emitting anything because it's completely unplugged. So if he wants to play, he plugs it in and then, he unplugs it afterwards. Now this is the saddest thing. I practiced a little bit of this last night. You guys, we've got our, these are my plants, but this is my, here I am again, hi. So this is my little space heater because we have this big window and it's almost floor to ceiling, and it is, it's pretty drafty. And so there's a little view of the mountains, but it gets really drafty. And so I have this space heater to keep me warm when I sit in my spot. And oh man, I did this last night, so I already know what's gonna happen. But we'll start with off, okay? This is off, so it's showing nothing. And then we're gonna turn it to electric, okay? So, sorry, again, 0. And then we're gonna turn it on. Look how cute it is. Look at how many EMFs it gives off. Okay, so it's about 7 there at the top line. Let's see about the magnetic. Past 100, you guys. So much radiation. So I'm pretty bummed about this. I'm exposing myself right now. But again, I think it's, studies are coming out more, and I do, there's a lot to be said about like moderation, frequency, duration, and strength, as we mentioned before. Oh, stand up. And then I just wanted to show you guys one more, which is my, I know I'm really dark right now. I'm going to show you the microwave. So we actually don't own a microwave. We just really haven't had a microwave in many years. But this apartment has a microwave built into it. So it's like in our cabinetry. And so we have a microwave now, and I just wanted to show you guys this as well. So this is going to be that third dial that we haven't actually tried yet, which is the radio/microwave setting. Okay, and let me flip the screen. Okay, so we're going to hold this up here, and it's on this radio microwave setting, and nothing's going on. That's good because the microwave's not on. So let me just do, let's see, setting it for 1 minute, and then we're gonna, it knows I didn't put anything inside. Okay, I pretended to put something inside, start, and you can see when the microwave turns on that now it is up to, we're looking at the bottom arch here, so it's actually at like 0.3, all right? That bottom, now it went down to 0.2, 0.3-ish. Okay, turn that off. We cleaned our counters this week, so at least the counters are clean. All right, so those are some of the EMFs around my home. I can't think of anything else to show you guys right now, so I'm gonna come back to the desk. Okay. And turn this baby off and answer any questions you guys have. Was that interesting? Everyone's home is going to be different. Your outlets, there's what's called dirty electricity, and your outlets can give off dirty electricity, and your microwave can actually be leaky. I didn't show you guys that, but when you turn it onto the microwave setting, and it says that if you walk 6 feet away and you're still seeing, actually it says right here, if you're seeing more than 0.2 on the scale, that you may have a leaking microwave door seal, and that could be repaired to help you reduce your exposure. We tested that last night and it didn't look like it was a leaky microwave. But there are some instructions that this thing comes with, just 1 page of instructions, but it kind of shows you like some of the things that you can do with it. And then, you can get creative as well. I like to do a little bit of the like test and experiment where I have something turned off and then I turn it on. With the space heater, that was so sad to see, and definitely your Wi-Fi. So I was thinking about doing a whole separate video for you guys. Sorry, my dog's here again. On ways to protect yourself from EMFs. So let me know if you guys would be interested in me jumping on another time, not today, but a different day, and showing you some of the things that I've learned about how to protect yourself from EMF and some of the tools that I use. Actually, I have one of them right here. I just bought 4 of these on Amazon, and they are little stickers that you can put on your electronics, and it says that it reduces cell phones radiation exposure up to 70%. Pretty cool. Shh, it's okay. She wants dinner. Tori asks, Sarah, how do you use the EMF protector necklace? So that's another thing that I use. I'm not wearing mine right now because I took a bath and I forgot to put it back on, but I have a necklace that is, the basic science around it is that it gives off like this good vibration and energy field from it to kind of counteract. And there's hair flying everywhere because my dog is shedding too. It's getting in my face. To counteract those EMFs and protect you from them. So it's like putting off this really strong field around you to protect you. And then now that I know where a lot of the EMFs are living, I can also avoid exposure, reduce exposure and duration. So ever since I tested that, it was just last night, but today I sat on the couch for a little bit and I was like, should I turn on my space heater? So I turned it on for a little while, but I'm not going to leave it running like all day, right? So there's just things you can start to shift, and there are actually many, many other ways to reduce your exposure and tools that you can purchase. There's even tin foil can actually help too, and some crystals that I've learned that help reduce the EMF exposure. So I've got a lot of tools that I've been learning, and I'd be happy to share those with you guys. So if you are interested, I'll do another video on all the different ways that you can help protect yourself from EMFs, but I just wanted to give you guys a tour today, give you a sense of what an EMF is, the different types, high frequency, low frequency, and that's it. Cool? Thank you guys for joining. Hope this was fun, and I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday.